This is Black Light. Have you ever heard the old saying that if you give a nigga enough rope, they'll hang theyself? And have you heard this other old saying, if you give a nigga an inch, they'll take a mile? Well, this applies to you give the recessive gene the tools to rule, but he'll box his own self in the corner that he can't get out of. Also, if you give the recessive gene a tool to rule that he don't know how to use all the tools to rule because he ain't been to school long enough. He didn't graduate with the master's degree. He's an undergraduate. And so the master carpenter knows how to use all the tools, and he knows all the rules. So why did, you know, the Supreme Being allow the recessive gene to rule the planet and take it from the dominant gene? We answered that question to show that the dominant gene allowed the recessive gene to rule because he knew that the recessive gene will box his own self in the corner, no way out, trapped his own self, no way out. The only one that could let him out is the one that he hates. That's the dominant gene. But he hates the dominant gene so much that he'd rather die than to let the dominant gene rule him. He's afraid because he don't want to be caught in the position of going to jail, so-called jail, you know, like he did, like we marched him up to the Caucasus Mountains. That was the prison that we put him in before. That's where he became savage, like a caveman, and lost knowledge of self. See, someone came and restored his knowledge. We call him Musa. Y'all call him Moses. Y'all don't see that in the histories. Y'all don't see that in the Bible, the Quran, or nowhere. Master Farad Muhammad taught that. And so once Musa restored the white man back into the knowledge of himself and gave him also the knowledge of the black man, also gave him a little trick knowledge. The white man knows somewhat his role that he plays, but not all of it. So he wanted to go on a discovery trip to see whether or not if Moses was telling him right. And the Jews, so-called Jews, is the one that they worship is, Moses and not Jesus. Why not Jesus and why Moses? We get into that a little later. But this is where we at now. They had learned the technology to rule the black man. And they created a world of illusions and tricks and bloodshed, because you have to know that these are some bloodthirsty people. They're warlike. Peace is not in them. They're in turmoil because in constant turmoil. You say, well, they appear to be happy. Well, they're happy while they're ruling, but they're worried. They're worried. They all the time they're all the time in stress, not wanting the black man, that dominant gene, to wake up. So we're gonna continue this on the next video. So stay tuned. This is Black Light.